Hello and welcome to another Q&A. This is a series where I put up a post every Monday and you guys can ask me any question and I answer those questions the following Friday. Thank you so much for taking part in this active weekly sessions and let's start. The first one, Manakamanna, my question is, what's the weirdest thing you've seen on the road? And Tamil. Brother, I can't read Tamil, but I'll use Google Translate and I'll reply to this in English only. The weirdest thing that I've seen on road, well, this is India and a guy carrying a huge canister of buttermilk on his motorcycle. And there's a guy sitting behind him, he's doing the same thing. Make a video on KTM Adventure 390X. Sure thing, you got it. I'll make a video comparing this one to the KTM Adventure 390. Hi, I own Triumph Scrambler 400 XC. Earlier, you said to check 4 things for leaning towards right. I've checked all of them and turns out it was wheel alignment. But a question, it was 2.5mm radial measurement. Does that make my handling like bouncy? When I cruise at 60 km/h, bike's handle will go up and down. It was deal breaking as it is my sweet spot. Triumph Service Center told they do not have anything to correct it. They did not get the instruments for spoke wheel alignment. Question is, after the adjustment have been made, will that problem go away? Bike is just 2 months old. Hats off to you, man. Thank you so much for asking this question. I believe the issue is related to wheel alignment, and if they don't have proper tools for doing the said adjustments on your spoke wheels, then I guess take it to another service center. Just don't wait for them. But yes, after it has been done, after the adjustment has been done, the bike will run fine. I'm sure of it. Sir, I really appreciate your knowledge. I wanted to ask, how well does the Interceptor 650 hold up on long highway rides over the years? Are there any specific parts that usually need more attention with long-term touring? This one, it's been 5 years and running. It's holding on very, very nicely. And as far as you asking me, is there any specific parts that usually need more attention? If you have a chrome finishing engine, then I guess once every 2 weeks, you'll have to buff the engines out so that it looks more shiny. But in terms of performance, just get it serviced periodically. That should be fine. And once every 600 to 700 kilometers, lube your chains. Once every 5,000 kilometers, clean or change your air filters. If you have performance air filters, clean it, relube it, reuse it. But if you have a stock air filter, just throw it away and put a new one. That's basically it. Sorry if this was asked before. Was the Interceptor your first bike? If not, what did you ride before? How different was the ergonomics, feeling and overall experience compared to your earlier bike? How long did it take to get comfortable with the bike? Well, the Interceptor is not my first motorcycle. My very first motorcycle was a classic 350. And the ergonomics of that is pretty straightforward. It's an upright commanding position and you can cruise all day long. And ironically, I never went touring on that motorcycle. The second motorcycle was a Harley Davidson Fat Boy, and I never went anywhere on that also, just to Lansdowne and Côte d'Ivoire. That's about it. Life's pretty funny that ways. And how long did it take to get comfortable with the bike? I was pretty comfortable on that bike from day one. It's actually a very relaxed, leisure riding motorcycle, I would say. These sessions have been a great source of knowledge. Would like to know what's your secret of keeping the bike clean. It looks immaculate, by the way. I am smitten. Thank you so much. Are there efficient ways to do it every day? Worried about scratching the paint when wiping with microfiber cloth due to dust? Well, I clean this every single day, morning and evening, because this is my favorite pastime. If I'm not riding it, I'm cleaning it. I also have a microfiber cloth. How I approach it is I clean the tank first, and then I do not touch the tank, come what may. So that's how you ensure that the tank is not scratched by the dust on the microfiber cloth. That's about it, except for the mirrors, which I will clean after the tank. And yeah, number one, always clean the tank first, and then followed by all the other parts. Good OCD question, by the way. How to start modding, customizing your bike? Not talking about that word, but real mods like you have done to your 650. I own a Scrambler 400X. I'm not sure from where should I start. Okay, the very first thing that I added to my motorcycle was the bar mirrors. They were the very first piece of me that I wanted to add to my motorcycle to make it more unique. The reason why I chose bar and mirrors is because I wanted the Interceptor to look like the Triumph Speed Twin 1200, which also has a bar and mirror. And Interceptor at that point did not come with a bar and mirror. So it was a challenge, but it worked out great in my favor. And how do you approach this? Just focus on one area at a time. So take a step back, see what is the one thing that you can do to your motorcycle, be it indicators, be it the headlamp forks, be it the clutch and brake levers. Just the customizations are endless, but just start with one. Do not focus on a lot of things at once, just focus on one thing at a time. That'll help you narrow it down really well. I hope this helps. Good question. I really thought this beautiful series ended when you didn't post this on Monday. Thank God it's not over and hope it never ends. I'm sorry, the office work kind of demanded my attention, so that's why. So this week I wanted to ask a question I'm confused about. Question, do I need to turn on indicators on every lane change while filtering through traffic too? While filtering through traffic, it is quite hectic and a distraction to do that every 10 to 20 seconds. Love your content, keep it up. So the answer is yes and no. You have to indicate every single lane change, but when you're filtering through traffic, and I assume that this traffic is kind of a moving traffic, it's not completely still. Generally, the density of the traffic is pretty high. So in that case, you don't need to indicate a change because everybody else around you is not moving, only you are moving through it. But if you are on a highway and if you're changing lane, every single lane change you need to indicate. And if you're going to take a turn, it is ideal to indicate before, say 200 meters before a turn. That gives the rider behind you or the driver behind you ample time to react and give you space and time to make that turn. Thank you for asking this question. I hope more people learn about this and get aware about how to use indicators. Hello sir, just two questions this week. How many kilometers on the Odo on both the bikes, and what's your business that you're running online? I'm not running a business online, but I do have a business of an advertising agency. My agency is called Thinking Hat Studios. You can check out on Instagram. I'll leave a link on that in the description below. And we have services like video editing, videography, photography, branding, logo design, logo animations, and all that. And how many kilometers on the Odo on both bikes? Let's see that right now. This is Himalayan. And this is Interceptor. Himalayan is 16,062 kilometers and running. And Interceptor, I need to stand up for that because that it is 21,846. However, I will add about 8 or 9,000 because I also have the dials changed on my Interceptor, because in Spiti I kind of fell on black ice and kind of damaged the dials, so I had changed them. So the odometer after 8,000 or maybe 9,000 kilometers, I changed this. So I think about 29,000 kilometers I've done on this so far. Hello there, good to see you traveling again. This question is about how to sit correctly on motorcycle. On YouTube, I mostly saw people saying one should grab the tank with their knees and keep the balls of the feet on the foot pegs. Thing is, on many bikes, I guess this cannot be done without hurting myself. On my bike, I prefer not to grab the tank with my knees because I feel like that's not a relaxed, comfortable position. About the foot peg thing, I like to cover my brake paddles always, ready to brake quickly. The left foot, yes, I keep the balls of my left foot on the foot peg, and the bike has heel and toe shifter, so it's easy to shift. I try to keep the right foot the same way as the left, but I feel when I'm braking and downshifting, I need to move my both feet, and this creates a little imbalance. Or maybe for a while I feel I'm not in total control of the bike. Am I riding my bike a little wrong? I ride Bullet 350 by the way. I hope I can explain the question. Okay, let's see this. Good question. No question is a bad one. Let me move the bike so that I come in better view. And also, let me move the camera as well. There. You're riding a Bullet 350 which has an upright position, riding position, which shouldn't be a problem. And this is the right foot, the brake lever. Usually I keep my foot like this. It is not on the brake lever, but as and when it is required, it comes quickly like that. It is always on the balls of my feet, always. And you need to learn this move. This is also called dancing on the foot pegs. Because if you're constantly riding with your foot on the lever, chances are you might accidentally activate the brake and you're riding the bike like that. So you might accidentally eat up a lot of your rear brake pad and you'll need to change your brake pads quite frequently. That's a bad thing. And also the brake disc as well. This is how you should use your brakes. And the number one thing, you absolutely have to use your legs to control your bike. It is always recommended that you grab your bike with your thighs. People often believe that you turn the bike using your handlebars. This is only a guiding source. The way that you turn your motorcycle is from your core and using your legs. If you press hard on your foot pegs in either direction, the bike will turn that ways, and then you are guiding your bike to turn that ways. If you really apply this principle while you're riding, you'll find it much more smoother to ride. And of course, we also use counter steering. That is the only way to turn, right? And yes, try grabbing your tank with your legs and try to turn like that. You have to remember that you're riding a motorcycle. So there are only two parts that you're holding on the bike. One is definitely your handlebar, and the other one has to be your tank. Now, if you hold your handlebar a little too tight, the chances of the fatigue seeping in are very, very high and very quickly also. So you need to relax the hold on your handlebar and increase the grip on your fuel tank. That's how you should ride it ideally, I would say. I hope this helps. Okay, let me move this. You see that small piece of wood back there? That is my OCD. That is where the side stand lies. See? Good question. Hi brother, I hope you have recovered better. Yes, the pain is relatively less, but I can extend my leg. Thank you so much for your wishes. I just got a handlebar riser installed on the Interceptor from Motor Talk brand. They have rerouted the wires to make it more free as the height increased. Will this affect the wires and cables? Please do let me know, and thanks for taking your time and answering our questions. And also, please let me know about the tail lights and indicators change, any good brands and design. The last part of the question, any good brands in indicators or tail light, you'll have to do a little bit of research. There are a lot of brands available out in the market, and if I suggest you one, people might say that I am trying to do a brand promotion of sorts. So you'll have to do that yourself. And the first part, if your handlebar have risers on them and they have rerouted it, that is absolutely fine. It should be like that. What you should do is try and turn the handlebar to the extremes and see if there is enough slack on your accelerator cables. If there is enough slack on either side, that means it is okay and it should not cause any issues. I hope I answered your question. I think this is my first time asking. Welcome to the channel. First of all, a very good morning and evening, Mr. Sri. I don't know if I'll be featured. I need a proper route guiding for fitting my future accessories on my bike. Currently, I own a set of fog lights, which is on the higher side price, but I'm not getting any visibility while it rains or fogs up in the highways. So what should I do? Can you tell me the proper way to mount and align the aux lights? Currently, it was mounted on the engine guard. The aux lights are of 150 watt, and I'm planning on installing Vaishno headlights and Mad Dog sets of aux Alpha, Lycan and Scout X. I know the battery could not support all at the same time. Can I get advice regarding this? Currently, I own a soft luggage set. I was thinking switching. Should I get accustomed to the soft luggage set for a bit before changing? I ride a Honda Highness CB350. I bought it December 11, 2024. I clocked around 23,000 kilometers, including commute and occasional touring, waiting for you to modify your Himi 450. Later on, I'm planning to buy a Benelli TRK 502X, a long dream, but someday. The collab was awesome with the Interceptor. Love the editing and audio syncs. Waiting for your ride vlogs from one rider to another. Okay, lot to process and lot to answer there. Thank you so much for watching the collab with Interceptor. Akash is a very good friend of mine and we keep hyping each other up. So that's the best way. I love working with him and quite sure there are a lot more coming in. Waiting for you to modify your Himalayan 450. I think I have. There is a Fuel X Pro here and a lot of accessories like on the touring side. I also added the cross-spoke tubeless wheels on this, which is pretty good. And I was lucky enough to grab the introductory price of 12,000 rupees. Now these things cost about 40,000 rupees. The next modification I would do is tires. I don't really want to modify this extensively. Maybe a rally tower someday, because I plan on using this for touring and covering great distances, which I can do on this as well, but I prefer this one, as you can add more stuff on this. And the other one, I currently own a soft luggage set. Yes, go with the soft luggage one. I would much rather prefer a soft luggage set, because a hard pannier in case of a fall will be damaged, and the soft pannier will not be damaged that much. So I would much rather have you get accustomed to a soft luggage setup. Headlights, aux lights. Ideally speaking, the aux light should be mounted below the headlights. So ideally they can be either here or on the engine guard itself. There is no other way, unless you plan on installing them on the suspensions. That is kind of risky in my opinion, but a lot of people have done it, so you might consider that place also. And you're not getting any visibility while it rains or fogs up in the highways? Don't ride in low visibility areas. Would you wait for your dream bike and buy it after 1 or 2 years, or buy whatever best you can afford today? Edit. Dream bike being not a super bike, it's just something that you've been eyeing on for some time, which better suits your needs and riding style. I would much rather buy it 1 or 2 years later when I have enough funds, because my dream bike is a Triumph Truxton 1200 RS. I have been eyeing this bike for a long time. It is completely discontinued in India as of today, and I do not know if it will ever come back, but let's hope it does. If not, then a Triumph Scrambler 1200. Hey Sri, thanks for replying to the community post, but my question is still the same. Why Terrapod versus older versions of Rhino Walk? Not much price difference. About Trip Machine, I agree with your point that leather lasts lifetime, but the capacity of those bags is around 15 to 22 or 25 liters, which doesn't make sense for the price and form factor of those bags. Too big. I will definitely get those for my Super Meteor. Any other suggestions? You are welcome. Yes, there are a couple of suggestions that I know of, which is you can go for Rice Moto TC3 tunnel bag. It'll cost you about 4,800 rupees. Then there is Viterapod, which you have considered. It is of 22 liters, completely waterproof, should cost you about 2,000 rupees. 2,299. And lastly, I would suggest Rhinox Navigator bag, which is about 50 liters and should cost you about 7,400. Look into these bags, look into these options, they are pretty good. Namaste bhaiya, kaise hain aap? What makes Yamaha VVT engine differ in DOHC engine? Okay, I don't understand the exact question, but I believe you're asking me the difference between the DOHC engine and a VVT engine. A DOHC engine is actually a dual overhead camshaft. It has 2 camshafts, one for exhaust and one for air intake. It has a better airflow, better throttle response, and is designed for high-speed performance. And VVT is variable valve timing, and it is dynamically adjusted as according to the RPMs, as according to the change in the RPMs. The advantage of a VVT engine that it has lower emissions and gives you very high fuel efficiency. And in most modern motorcycles, a combination of these two factors are used. It is a DOHC engine with a VVT engine to get the optimal performance from the engine. Kind of best of both worlds. Technical question, but I'll make a reel on this one. Hi Srini, I have a 2025 GT650 and it's been about a year since I come across your handlebar change video for the Interceptor. I'm planning to install Himalayan handlebars on my GT for long rides. Could you let me know if there will be any issues with the rider triangle, since front foot pegs on the GT650 are different from the Interceptor? I need your suggestion on this. Love your content and wishing you a speedy recovery. Thank you so much for your wishes. And if you are changing the handlebar, because a GT has a clip-on style handlebar, and if you are adding a Himalayan handlebar to it, which ideally means you should also be adding a kind of a forward set foot pegs on your GT650. Preferably swap the ones with the Interceptor, because the GT650 has a rear set foot peg. So that will improve your rider triangle considerably well. It should ideally be, if you're changing your handlebar in GT650, you should also change your foot pegs in GT650. That gives you the best rider triangle. That gives you the best rider triangle. Hi Srinivas, from your DIY experience, can you share which suits the best working on a bike? A 1/4 inch or a 3/8 inch drive ratchet? Big fan of your videos, especially the DIY ones. Your videos inspire me to get Interceptor in 2023 and I'm totally loving the riding experience since. Feel better soon. So I prefer a 1/4 inch driving ratchet because it has a lot of other adjustments easily available on the Amazon market. And even if my drive ratchet is of a different company, I can always go for a different company attachments on it, which can easily be swappable. 381, I kind of feel it's a little hard to find on Amazon, so that's why I prefer a 1/4. Hey Sri, it's me again. I recently purchased a riding jacket. I just want to know the best way to carry it while I'm going to college office. Is it fine to fold and keep in bag, or should I do something else? Love your content and your bikes. The best way to carry your riding jacket is to wear it. Or just tuck it between your shoulder straps of your bag so that it doesn't fall. That's about it. So, okay, the next question is a pretty long one, but the answer to that is yes, most definitely. When you are of legal riding age, get yourself a motorcycle that is 18 years of age. You are 17 right now. And if you have access to your motorcycle and if you can learn how to ride that in your rough patches of your village, that'll be really a blessing in disguise, because once you ride on the city tarmacs, you'll be a very, very good rider. Listen to your parents, they're a blessing, and education is more important than riding motorcycles. I hope this helps. So that effectively concludes this week's questions and answers. Thank you so much for taking active part in this weekly sessions. I really enjoy answering all questions. I hope I'm adding some kind of a value to your life. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll put up a post again on Monday so you guys can ask me any question. Thank you so much. Shri out.